Hello everyone, this is your host Rocky speaking and welcome to Golden Dragon Games. Today is episode 3 of season 2 of Golden Dragon Video Game News. Today we'll be talking all about the new news and information for Pokemon Sword and Shield from the June 2019 Pokemon Direct. Okay, here is our first bit of new info from Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. The brand new Pokedex, which is called the Rotom phone. So, yeah, once again, we have Rotom back as our Pokedex, but rather than being a regular Pokedex, it's also a cell phone this time. Also, you can see in the screen cap next to the photo of Rotom from the official Pokemon Sword and Shield website, the bike has once again returned to the mainline series of Pokemon games after it being missing from Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Also, when it comes to the bike and the Pokedex, you can actually connect the Pokedex to the bike to make it move faster on land, but also on water. And it was actually shown in the trailer that you can ride your bike through water, but I'm guessing that you won't be able to ride the bike through water unless your Rotom cell phone / Pokedex is actually connected to the bike. Also, actually, just to mention something, this information about the Rotom Pokedex, this information wasn't actually in the Pokemon Direct itself. This was actually posted later on the official Pokemon website. I'm not sure why it wasn't included in the Direct itself, but yeah, that's the brand new Pokedex. Okay, and our next bit of info, again, just like with the Pokedex info, it wasn't actually in the Pokemon Direct, it was actually posted later on the official Pokemon website, which is the brand new Generation 8 Pokemon Battle menu UI. Okay, so when it comes to this new menu UI for Pokemon battles for Pokemon Sword and Shield, I think it looks okay to good, but I think I definitely prefer the Generation 7 Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon Pokemon Battle menu UI rather than the Sword and Shield menu UI design. Also, I don't know why, but the menu UI for Sword and Shield, it feels a bit unfinished. But also, I think, even though it looks okay to good, I definitely think the design for the menu UI for Pokemon battles in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield could have looked a lot better. Also, I hope that maybe the menu battle UI will change its design slightly and look better before the games actually are released later this year. And the design could very well change a bit, because in the trailer it did say gameplay footage not final. So there could still be changes made to the game before its final release, but this is probably what the UI will look like when the games come out. But still, like I said, the menu battle UI for Sword and Shield are okay to good. But anyway, it's time for the next bit of info from the Pokemon Direct itself. Okay, the next bit of info from the Pokemon Direct is about those big open areas in between all the cities and towns. Those areas are called the Wild Area. In the Wild Area, this is where you can catch the most wild Pokemon. And also, as you can see, we have different weather depending on the area. And also, something else you can see in the first 6 screenshots is there are actually Pokemon in the overworld. Also, during this part of the Direct, the director of the games, Mr. Omori, mentioned 2 important things. One of the important things was when it comes to the Wildland area with all the different weather, depending on the area and the weather, that will affect what Pokemon you will find at what time. And I think it's cool that they have the different weather back. And also, it will be cool to be able to go to an area to find some Pokemon, but if you come back at a later time during different weather, like raining, for instance, you'll find brand new and different Pokemon. Also, something else important that Mr. Omori mentioned during this part of the direct is when you're in these wild areas, you will have full camera control, so it will be easier to find Pokemon and also any items. And once again, this is a great addition / change to Pokemon Sword and Shield, especially when these wild areas, they aren't small by any means. We're talking like open world segments in a Pokemon game. So having full camera control is definitely a good thing for when we're exploring these vast, big, open wild areas, finding brand new and also old returning Pokemon. And talking about new Pokemon, that segues perfectly into the next part of the video, which is all about some of the brand new Pokemon that were announced for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Okay, here are the first two Pokemon that were announced in the Pokemon Direct. So, first of all, we have Wooloo, the sheep Pokemon. Wooloo is a normal type Pokemon who can have the ability Fluffy or Runaway. Next, we have Drednaw, the bite Pokemon. Drednaw is a water and rock type Pokemon who can have the ability Strong Jaw or Shell Armor. Then our third Pokemon is Glossifleur, the flowering Pokemon. Glossifleur is a pure grass type Pokemon who can have the ability of Cotton Down or Regenerator. Then the next new Pokemon announced was the evolution of Glossifleur, being Eldegoss, who is the Cotton Bloom Pokemon, who is also a pure grass type and can have the same abilities as its previous evolution Glossifleur. And the last new regular Pokemon announced in the Pokemon Direct is Corviknight, the Raven Pokemon. Corviknight is a Flying and Steel type Pokemon who can have the ability of Pressure or Unverse. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce the second ability Corviknight can have, but anyway, Corviknight isn't just a new wild Pokemon, but also a means of transportation in the Galar region as a flying taxi to take the player to previous cities they've already visited. And now, it's time for our next bit of info from the Pokemon Direct. Okay, our next bit of info from the Pokemon Direct is about the big new mechanic for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, being Dyna Maxing. Dyna Maxing is sort of like Mega Evolution and Z moves, where you can use it once per battle, but as you can see, your Pokemon won't actually change its form. Instead, it will turn into a giant Pokemon, like that episode of the Pokemon anime with all those giant Pokemon on the island. Also, Pokemon moves will turn into max moves, which make its moves much more powerful. Also, during a battle, your Pokemon will only be in its giant Dynamaxed form for up to 3 turns. Also, in certain spots in the Galar region, like the wild areas, you can find spots where you can find wild Dynamaxed Pokemon, which you'll be able to battle and also catch. Also, there is a new multiplayer mode called Max Raid Battles, where you and up to 3 other people can join together to face off against a wild Dynamax Pokemon over both local wireless communication and multiplayer online communication. Also, in these max raid battles, when you're with 3 other people, only 1 player will be able to Dynamax their Pokemon. Also, 2 other things that was mentioned about wild Dynamaxed Pokemon was that, first of all, wild Dynamaxed Pokemon will have a special ability. I'm not sure what the special ability will be. They never actually said what the special ability of a Dynamaxed Pokemon in the wild would be. Also, something else mentioned was that wild Dynamaxed Pokemon will stay in their Dynamaxed giant form for the entire battle, unlike the player's Pokemon who can only Dynamax their Pokemon for up to 3 turns. Also, something else that was shown in the gameplay trailer is that gym leaders will also be able to Dynamax their Pokemon during a gym battle. And now it's time for our next bit of news from the Pokemon Direct. Okay, the next bit of new news from the Pokemon Direct is about new characters that were announced. And the first of these new characters is one of, if not the first gym leader you'll face in the Galar region, being Gym Leader Milo, who specializes in grass-type Pokemon. Also, behind him you can see one of his Pokemon on his team, which is Dyna Maxed. Also, you can see that he has a wristband on his right wrist. Basically, the wristband is what allows people to Dynamax their Pokemon in battle. Okay, the next character is none other than the current undefeated reigning Galar region champion, Leon, with his Charizard, which is probably either his main Pokemon or one of his possible strongest Pokemon. And the next character is Hop. Hop is one of your rivals in the games, and he is also the younger brother of the Galar region champion Leon. Hop's dream is to one day become the next champion of the Galar region. Also, in the second screen cap of Hop with the main male protagonist on the train in the Galar region, you can see Hop actually has a blue Rotom cell phone Pokedex rather than the orange Rotom cell phone Pokedex that the main protagonist has. So I'm wondering, will we be able to customize at the very least the color scheme of our Rotom cell phone sometime during the game or at the beginning of the game or just any time during our journey through the Galar region? And now for our fourth character, being the professor of the region, Professor Magnolia, who studies the Dyna Max phenomenon. And then, our last new character that was announced is Sonia, who is the assistant and also the granddaughter of Professor Magnolia. And now, it's time for our second to last bit of news from the Pokemon Direct. Okay, so, towards the end of the Pokemon Direct, they showed off a brand new CGI trailer for the two mascot legendaries, who are both wolves, just like the logos for the games. And on the left, we have Zacian, the legendary Pokemon for Pokemon Sword, and then on the right, we have Zamazenta, the legendary Pokemon for Pokemon Shield. Unfortunately, there was no information about what typings or what abilities either of the legendaries have at this point in time during the trailer or on the official Pokemon Sword and Shield website. Also, something else that was near the end of the CGI trailer, after the two wolf legendaries meet and they walk up to each other, suddenly wind picks up and leaves start blowing around into the air, and then both legendary Pokemon look up into the air like there is something coming. And what the general thoughts in the Pokemon community are is that the thing that was flying in the sky or coming through the sky towards the two wolf legendaries is possibly the third legendary Pokemon of this legendary trio for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Also, something else I've heard people say is that the wolves look like they aren't enemies like past mascot legendaries, but are possibly working together against the third legendary Pokemon, which could very well be an evil legendary Pokemon. Also, in the description of the video, I'm going to leave a link to a very good theory video by Ruffled Rowlet about what the third legendary possibly is based on, and also what mythological story the legendary trio could be based on as well. And now, it's time to talk about the last bit of news from the Pokemon Direct. And now, here's the last bit of info from the Pokemon Direct about the official worldwide release date, the box art, and the special double pack bundle of the games. So, the official worldwide release date for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield is November 15th, 2019. Also, you can see the box art for both Sword and Shield on screen, and personally, I think the box art is okay, but again, just like with the design for the Pokemon Battle menu UI, I think the design for the box art could have been better. Also, there will be a special bundle which comes with both a copy of Pokemon Sword and a copy of Pokemon Shield, which also comes with a golden steel case with both legendaries on either side of the steel case. Also, it looks like if you get the USA version of the double pack, it might not come with the steel case. as the steel case was only shown in the UK Direct, but this information hasn't been confirmed or deconfirmed by any official sources like Nintendo or the Pokemon Company or Game Freak themselves. Also, even if the steel case bundle was exclusive to Europe, because the Switch is region free, if you really wanted the steel case bundle and if you had the money or if you wanted it for Christmas present, then you could always import the game. But like I said, this information hasn't been confirmed or deconfirmed by any official sources yet. Also, another thing that wasn't mentioned or announced in the Pokemon Direct is if there was going to be any other bundles for the game, like if you buy the game separately, if there will be any extras like separate steel cases, for example, like they've done with some of the past Pokemon games. And also there was no announcement if there was going to be any special edition Pokemon Sword and Shield themed Switch console either, but other limited edition and special edition bundles for the games could be announced at a later time. Okay, and that is all the Pokemon news from the June 2019 Pokemon Direct. So now, without further ado, it's time to outro today's video. So, thank you everyone so much for watching today's video. I hope you all have enjoyed today's video. Please feel free to leave a like, favorite, share, comment. Also, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. All my social media links are linked in the description of the video. And remember, until next time, stay golden, stay frosty, and